WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins teases a possible dream match against New Japan Pro Wrestling's Will Ospreay. New authority figures on television have been revealed for Ring of Honor with the latest set of TV tapings last night. And AEW star makes his return at the Ring of Honor TV tapings. Plus, a daughter of a WWE Hall of Famer makes her Ring of Honor debut last night as well. Jon Moxley teases more potential New Japan Pro Wrestling returns. Claudio Castagnoli had travel issues getting to New Japan's Dominion event this past weekend. Lance Archer reveals that he's been dealing with a torn triceps this year as he competed this past weekend. Santana continues to tease a return to AEW, and Satnam Singh discusses training with WWE legend and AEW star Paul White. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling. But before we get into our first story today, a reminder, you can join the WN365 roster. All you have to do is click the join button down there, or there's a link in the video description as well. We're going to make it the pinned comment as well in the comment section. Members videos have started to drop. Our first episode of our Monday Night Wars rewatch series, where we're going to be watching every single episode of WCW Monday Nitro and WWE Monday Night Raw chronologically, has started. Episode 1, which we rewatched, the first ever premiere episode of WCW Monday Nitro, yes, featuring the arrival and debut, or return rather, of Lex Luger to WCW. That is up on the channel, exclusive for members of the WN365 roster. So if you do want to join the membership, you do want to join the roster, all you got to do is click that join button, and you can watch us, join us in watching the Monday Night Wars as they happened in chronological order. Let's start off talking about Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay, two people that do have a bit of a history, not in terms of in-ring, but certainly social media, a back and forth they've had several times. New WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins has teased a potential dream match against New Japan Pro Wrestling's Will Ospreay. During a recent interview with Chris Van Vliet, the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion was asked about an opponent he would hope to face in the future. Ospreay named Rollins, believing that the two of them could create magic together following their previous interactions online in 2019. Ospreay reacted to the clip on Twitter last night, where he teased potentially showing up at WWE Money in the Bank at the O2 Arena, simply stating, quote, "The O2 Arena is 20 minutes from my house, eh?" Earlier today, Rollins responded to Ospreay's tease, responded with simply one word, all too familiar with Ospreay. He said, "Bruv." Now, Ospreay will get his fair share of Forbidden Door dream matches in the coming weeks, with his victory over Lance Archer at New Japan's Dominion, earning him a rematch with AEW's Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door on June 25th in Canada. Of course, that taking place for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Yes, that match will be taking place. Now, obviously, this is probably something that's just sort of said in jest. It's not really taken too seriously. I don't suspect we're going to be seeing Ospreay versus Rollins anytime soon, but it's fun to believe these things. And of course, Ospreay, his contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming up in the next year, so anything's possible, although he seemed pretty keen on staying with New Japan and not moving to the United States. Now, when it comes to Will Ospreay, to continue his feud with Kenny Omega, Ospreay has called out a WWE Hall of Famer and a top AEW star in his feud against Canada heading into Forbidden Door. As I mentioned, at Dominion, Ospreay defeated Lance Archer to become the #1 contender for the IWGP United States Championship. Post-match, Ospreay issued a challenge for Kenny Omega to face the IWGP US Champion in his home country of Canada at Forbidden Door 2 that is, on June 25th from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. During a backstage interview following the match, Ospreay gave his thoughts on Omega and Canada. He said, quote, "I'm walking into AEW territory once again, only this time, Kenny, in the Tokyo Dome, I can't tell you enough, you embarrassed me. It was 80% you, 20% Ospreay. We all know it. I left covered in my own blood, a shell of a man. Now I have to get revenge. There is not a better place to do it than in your home territory. I'll say it now. I effing can't stand Canada. I genuinely can't. Where is this effing notion that all Canadians are nice? Oh, sorry about that. Everyone in Canada is effing nice." Ospreay continued to throw shade at other fellow Canadians, such as fellow AEW star Chris Jericho and WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart, saying, quote, "Look at the evidence. Chris Jericho, a-hole. Don Callis, a-hole. El Phantasmo, a-hole. Bret Hart just moans all the effing time. I just figure all you Canadians are effing a-holes. It's going to be real effing good walking into enemy territory. I'm going to welcome it. I'm at my best when I'm a little effing D-head. I have a point to prove." Sorry, it's YouTube. I've got Block out all the curses. I don't care if your heart is broken and your family is awful. Boo effing who. You ripped my heart out and ate it in front of me. Only different is I'm still breathing. The heart you ripped out, I put it right back in and it's still beating. That time I've been away, I'm an open heart surgeon. I'm going to rip your heart out and eat it in front of Canada. I need this one. I have to prove a point. I am the best wrestler in the world. It's time to show up. Of course, Omega defeated Ospreay to win the IWGP United States Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 17. As we mentioned yesterday, the Omega vs. Ospreay rematch wasn't the only bout set up at Dominion for the upcoming Forbidden Door show later on this month, as another dream match featuring none other than Kazuchika Okada facing off against Bryan Danielson was also set in motion. So very exciting coming up later this month. Let's switch gears here and talk about Ring of Honor, because we have some new authority figures in terms of television, not in terms of the actual legitimacy of Ring of Honor. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Ring of Honor is getting a new authority figure. Recently, Stokely Hathaway posted an ominous video of him in Tony Khan's office, replacing the photos and memorabilia in the room with things near and dear to his heart. When Fightful poked around about the video, they were told that Stokely has been pushing for a new role that looks like it will be taking shape shortly. He was introduced as one of the board of directors at the Ring of Honor tapings. Jerry Lynn will serve as the babyface authority figure, while Stokely is a heel. This is only in kayfabe, and Tony Khan is continuing all of his duties, including the booking. Tony Khan has not reduced any of his responsibilities with the brand. Now, we're not sure what that means for Stokely immediately in AEW, but the firm, as a stable, was originally set up to wrap with the firm deletion match, so it might just be what's going on next. So Stokely Hathaway and Jerry Lynn, they're the authority figures right now in Ring of Honor. Now, some spoilers ahead if you don't want to be spoiled if you watch Ring of Honor on Honor Club, so I'll give you 5 seconds to count down. We are going to get into spoiler territories here at the latest set of TV tapings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Griff Garrison is back. Yes, Griff Garrison has returned. However, it's getting very, very interesting. At the Ring of Honor television taping, AEW star Griff Garrison made his return in a bout against Lee Moriarty for a future episode of the weekly show on Honor Club. Garrison suffered an undisclosed injury that led him to undergoing surgery in December of 2022. Griff Garrison hasn't appeared on AEW programming since early 2022, where he teamed with Brian Pillman Jr. as part of the Varsity Blondes. Then they just became the Blondes because, of course, they got the Varsity name taken away from them by Smart Mark Sterling. So Griff Garrison is back, and seemingly he's going to be on the Ring of Honor brand moving forward. So there you go. Speaking of people actually showing up and debuts and returns and things of that nature, we've got a daughter of a WWE Hall of Famer in Ring of Honor right now. Ring of Honor held their latest television taping for their weekly series yesterday, Sunday, June 4, at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. As previously reported and mentioned, obviously you've got new authority figures there. Griff Garrison's made his return, and it has been revealed that the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Rowdy Roddy Piper, Teal Piper, made her Ring of Honor debut at the tapings. Piper faced Diamante in singles action, while earlier at the event she accompanied Deimos to the ring for his match against Nick Comoroto. So Teal Piper is in Ring of Honor. We don't know if she's signed a contract with AEW, if this is just a one-off, if this is a feeling out process, if she's going to appear at AEW events in the future or anything like that. So we'll have to wait and see. But Teal Piper makes her Ring of Honor debut as well. Switching back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jon Moxley has discussed his plans to make a potential return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. At New Japan Dominion, Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Shota Umino and Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley to retain their never openweight 6-man tag team championships. The match marked Moxley's first time wrestling in Japan since 2020, despite making other appearances for New Japan on their United States shows. During a backstage interview following the bout at Dominion, Moxley talked about his lengthy absence from Japan and that all has happened since his previous visit, making it clear how happy he was to be back and his appreciation for the fighting spirit in Japan. Moxley said, quote, "A couple of kids, a couple of trips to rehab later, here we are. Every single time I come back to Japan, I will give you absolute best, just like Claudio will, just like Shooter will. I'm so goddamn glad to be back in Japan. This is a place where fighting spirit is revered. This is a place where fighting spirit pays off in the ring, in that magical moment where blood, sweat, and will, and guts, and all that shit mixes into one. It's the greatest effing drug in the world. I love that shit. F yeah. We'll wrestle again. I got effing plans. I got an effing resident card now. I know Okada has been effing with the visa thing, trying to get our stuff stopped up, but I got the card now. I'll come back whenever the F I want. Thank you, Japan." Moxley continued on to target Okada even more for his rivalry with Shota Umino, saying, quote, "Congratulations, Okada, you beat an effing 14-year-old. Real cool, man. You like picking on Shota, huh? You rich kid bullies, you guys. Ishii, Tanahashi, Okada, the cool kids, the guys they call the best in the world that can do no wrong. Personally, me, I don't have any time for you mother effers. I'm not very impressed with you at all. I'm the most criminally and chronically undervalued, looked over, just total piece of shit. You guys are the best, apparently." That's what a lot of people say. Well, far be it for me to disagree. Maybe my friend, my training partner, the man who inspired a generation, Bryan effing Danielson, the American Dragon, maybe he can teach you what I mean. But when I look at you, I have no impetus to show you one piece of respect. So Moxley going in on Kazuchika Okada, and expect to see more of Moxley in Japan if that interview is anything to go by. Claudio Castagnoli, he was at Dominion as well, but he had quite a few travel issues getting to the event. As I mentioned, he was part of that Never Openweight 6-man tag team championship match at Dominion. Ahead of the show, New Japan Pro Wrestling announced the flight delays for Castagnoli caused them to shuffle up the card for yesterday's show. The statement read, quote, "Thank you for supporting New Japan Pro Wrestling. Claudio Castagnoli, who is scheduled to join Jon Moxley and Shota Umino to challenge for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championships at Dominion tonight, has experienced flight delays, and as a result, the match order of this evening's card has been changed. The Never Openweight 6-man championship bout, originally set to be the 7th match on the card, will now be the 8th semi-main event bout. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match will now be the 7th of the evening. We apologize for any inconvenience or concern caused and appreciate your understanding." Castagnoli, of course, as you can see right there, in fact, did make it to the show, but his team lost to Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi. So he made it there and made his actual New Japan Pro Wrestling debut in Japan as well. So maybe he's going to be back a lot more as well. Keeping with the New Japan theme of AEW stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling, at Dominion, as I mentioned, Will Ospreay defeated Lance Archer to become the #1 contender for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship and earn a match against Kenny Omega. This marked Archer's first bout since April and only his 10th overall match in 2023. Some fans have been questioning why the former IWGP US champion has been wrestling so infrequently. Well, speaking in a backstage interview following Dominion, Lance Archer commented on his loss, revealing that he's been dealing with a torn triceps throughout this year. He said, quote, "2023 hasn't been the best year for me. The amount of disrespect that I feel all over the world right now, it pisses me off. Nearly 23 years in this business, one of the best, if not the best, big man to step in the effing ring. AEW, this is a message for you. New Japan Pro Wrestling, this is a message for you. Every effing mark around the world, this is a message for you. There's a reason I haven't been wrestling a lot, and it has nothing to do with bad booking, you dumb shits. What everybody doesn't realize is I've been battling a torn tricep and I've kept it quiet. I didn't tell everybody because I don't need your sympathy. I don't need your well wishes. I don't need anything. I just needed time, and now I'm back." So he's been dealing with a torn tricep, so now Lance Archer seemingly is back. Speaking of people coming back, Santana, what's the latest with him? Well, as previously reported, a recent report indicated that Santana may be on his way back soon to All Elite Wrestling. The former Inner Circle member landed awkwardly during the Blood and Guts match in June of last year, with Tony Khan confirming he suffered a knee injury. After nearly a year on the shelf, Santana took to Twitter on June 4 to post an ominous tweet with the date of this coming Friday. He tweeted June 9, or 6-9, that being June the 9th. Besides numbers being very nice, it is the date for this Friday. This could possibly point to a potential return on Friday's AEW Rampage, or it could be the date the Proud and Powerful star makes an announcement regarding his future in pro wrestling. Santana previously posted the date of April 21 on his Twitter account, but it remains to be seen what it means on this occasion. So either he's coming back or he might be leaving AEW for good. Finally, Satnam Singh has been training with a fellow giant. In 2022, the 7 foot 3 inches tall Satnam Singh debuted for All Elite Wrestling, quickly aligned himself with Jay Lethal and Sonjay Dutt. Singh has become a regularly featured star alongside Lethal, Dutt, and Jeff Jarrett, with the act being prominent members on the roster. Speaking with Sportskeeda's WrestleBinge, Singh discussed his experience training with former WWE star Paul White at the Nightmare Factory. He said, quote, "Normally, we were working together and QT Marshall at the Nightmare Factory for the last 2 weeks. He wanted to come back in the ring and he wanted to train me. So I got a really big 2-week chance to work with him, and so he taught me so many big moves. Also, I can see how I look in front of big guys and whatever he's learned from WWE and AEW. When asked if he would be able to chokeslam White, Satnam replied, "Of course, why not? In the ring, I don't care. I will chokeslam anyone over there." Satnam Singh's associates Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett recently came up short in their latest attempt to win the AEW World Tag Team Championships against FTR at AEW Double or Nothing. Singh has only wrestled in the ring 16 times in All Elite Wrestling over the past year. Certainly has a way to go before he really perfects that in-ring work, doesn't he? But there you go, guys. It's the latest AEW/New Japan Pro Wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts, as always, in the comment section below. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.